We are live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Chat Her Up. Today we have my girl, pretty girl Montique,
Yes,
and
yes.
myself, Dr. Joy, pre-PhD. We might have Callie pop in or even Demisio. But for
Yes.
right now, it's just us, and we finna start with Real Housewives of Potomac, season 9, episode 10, Love in the Fast Lane. What you give
Yeah.
this episode?
I like this episode. I feel like they're building up to something. Don't you think so? Like
Yes,
something
it's a slow
it's gonna
burn.
be a build up with a lot of different relationships. I'm gonna get there goes Cali Valley. I'm gonna give it I think it was like a 7. I think it was a good little episode for me.
Okay.
What do you think,
Um,
Joy?
I would say about a 7.5, 8. I
Mhm.
enjoyed this episode. I laughed out loud a couple of times, and it is what it is. What you think, Callie?
Is this Potomac?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I give it about 6.
Yeah. Everything we say is allegedly our opinion, entertainment purposes only. We're gonna say that. But yeah, I like the little dark color. Did you do this, Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
okay. Yeah,
like
because we
the
was
dark color.
both looking at it like, what
What
happened?
had happened?
We're like, what happened?
This episode starts with Gizelle sitting down with her girls, kind of talking about her dad and what she's going through with her dad. Gizelle talks in code very well.
Yes. Okay, so what do you think her code is saying? Because I'm gonna tell you what I think. Go
Okay,
ahead.
first of all, she has a brother and a sister.
Uh-huh.
She obviously does not talk about them at all.
No.
So her grandchildren, when she's referencing her grandchildren and all of that, I think she's talking really about her brother and sister. Because for whatever reason, only her mother and her father have decided to come on this show. Because Gizelle definitely has a sister. I know.
Yes,
And
she has a
I'm
sister.
almost positive she has a brother. I've seen her sister and I heard her talk about her once.
Yeah, she talks about her sister when she had her hysterectomy, and this could have
Yes,
been on the podcast, but her
yes,
sister came to take care of her.
yes.
And her sister was like, "You have cheap toilet paper." So I don't know why I remember
Yeah.
that, but that's when she talked about her sister.
Yeah. So Gizelle doesn't tell you that it's not just about her children, but I do believe her father did want generational wealth. If you all didn't know, her father, I believe, was a congressman in
Mm-hmm.
Texas. And he, once all you have to serve is once. I always say that that's a lick. If I could have ever gotten Congress, that's you get health insurance forever.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. Like they're the Congress, the president, the Senate, all of them, they get it
Yeah.
forever. Yeah.
It's like benefits that you get like forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a couple of generational things. And I don't know, I can't remember how many terms he served. I can't remember if he served 2 or 3. I think he only served 2 terms. But I can imagine he might have a little money because fortunately, however you look at it, lobbyists is legal in the United States. And I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if y'all know what a lobbyist is. Basically, those are people that pay you to vote a certain way.
The votes are
That's
yes.
legal. Which is why there are so many millionaires in Congress. Because if you've been there for many terms, you're definitely a millionaire because there are people that pay legally, long as you register it, and they usually do, because it's legal. It's not dirty. Like they could literally straight up write a whole legislation, and you want, I don't know, liquor on Sundays back in the day was a big thing if you lived in the South. There are people that will pay you to vote a certain way. And
Yeah.
so I could see him possibly being rich. There it is.
So what I figured with the code was she kept talking about when someone is with another significant other, she wants to make sure that the kids are protected. So I was wondering if her dad had like a girlfriend or who was this person
She
that
was married. He was married. He had married
so his
this lady
wife
for 2
then
years.
somebody
Yes, it's his wife.
altered this will, and from what
Yeah.
I was gathering it was his significant other.
Definitely.
Yes, she talked in code, but she
Yes.
let you know what it
But
was
she's not going to
without
be
saying
sued.
it.
She's really smart.
Yeah, without
She
saying
really
it.
is smart because she
I know.
worded
I
it in
knew.
such
I
a
was
way
wondering
that
if anybody picked that up.
yeah, I did. That you're picking up. She's really smart because she didn't implicate her anyway. She didn't even say she's smart enough not to even say his wife.
Yeah.
You know,
so I didn't even know he was married. I was like,
he's-
maybe he has a girlfriend. That was my no. I had a question mark.
He had no children with her. It was an older, I kind of felt some kind of way because my mother is a second wife. And when my stepfather died, we had some similar things going on very recently. I understand where she comes from in some regard, but that was a huge thing about what his children get, or should my mother get everything?
Right.
And to answer the question, my mother got everything, and
So
his
she did
children
get
were not
everything.
very happy about that.
So do y'all think she forged the documents?
Now, and that was a whole nother thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, if she did that, then she's wrong.
Right.
I think that she did, because I don't think he would have cut them 100% off. I just don't see him doing that.
Yeah.
So when
I mean, she should have left them with something, because to me, she implicated herself when she got greedy and took everything.
The mere fact that it was done days before his death is enough. Is enough suspicion. But to answer the question, something similar happened with my mother. She didn't forge anything. It happened last year, but there was a document that was signed. Because in the state of Missouri, you know, a spouse can't buy a house without his wife. So you have to sign a piece of paper when you I can't remember what it's called, but it's called something in Missouri, basically to put them on the deed.
On the deed. Yeah, it's like that in Tennessee too.
Yeah. So he just signed it last year. But I also need to say this. They have been married since 1987.
Oh, okay.
When they lived together in a house together. This wasn't a separation. They lived in a house. They bought that house. My mama picked out that house. So
another thing that I noticed from that scene that I don't think a lot of people probably did was Gizelle, her kids, they work. Like, they're in high school.
I was surprised to hear that too.
Yes,
and they work.
I'm glad you picked that up. Yeah,
I picked that up, and I was like, she has really they're in school making good grades. Plus, they're working. Like, my child didn't do that.
For one,
Okay?
4.2 for the other.
She does have some really good girls. She really does.
Right.
She
and
really
I don't even
does.
have her income, and their daddy's income. You know, they don't have to work.
Yeah.
They don't have to work, but they even was
I
like,
like this. She's talking. I noticed they work because Ashley and them said that they're really good babysitters.
Right.
The boys love them. I can't remember one of them. They crazy.
I remember, and then they also worked at like a summer camp. I remember one.
Yeah. That's good that she's normalized them, make them be like normal kids. That's good.
I think that was good too. But I don't know, because this was filmed a while ago, so I'm sure. You think they've settled the will?
No, she said on Watch What's Happening Live that something was happening today.
Okay. I need to watch that. I'm gonna watch that after this,
really
we can still talk about it.
It really was with Gizelle and her shade.
It was a really good show.
I'm gonna watch
now,
it.
You notice how Gizelle had nice things to say about Wendy, but when Wendy on the show, she couldn't say nothing nice about Gizelle.
Gizelle was making up for the other time she wasn't ever nice.
Wendy is still in the mindset that she has to do this to garner her fans. You know what I mean? Like, to keep the people who only like her because of their dislike for Gizelle. Because that's when she got people to like her. Because before then, she was Jermaine Jackson Sideburns and Oddie Body. And they talked about her. And then when she fought with Gizelle, she became likable. So she still wants to keep that little people, you know what I mean? Them happy.
I know what you mean. The little
you know. But
I did not like that blue sweater she had on.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say, what y'all think about her
Where
going
the
to
hell
her?
was that? I couldn't even find it, because I'm quick to find some of these outfits. That
That
one,
was horrible.
nowhere on the planet Earth.
They called it the Michelin Man.
Michelin Man. That's
Oh,
what
God,
I said when I saw it.
yes.
Did somebody else say that? It was horrible. Okay.
What
The
did
next
y'all think about that conversation with her mom, though?
See,
Am I
I
skipping
know
too far here?
my daughter Jordan has friends because now it's a melting pot. So they have friends from like the Philippines, from Ghana.
Mhm.
They do have different expectations of their children. And I feel like her mom, I don't know. I feel like Wendy does beat to her own drum, and I do like that about her. But then I sometimes feel like it's forced. Like her mom already knew. I don't know.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if her mother knew.
So I kind of ignored that
because you have to think that her sister's a good actress. Because her sister was like, and you brought me here for this?
Right. Like you want me to tell mommy? Like, I don't know, but it is different how their expectations are for their children.
She's like a little girl with her mother.
Mm-hmm.
She is she's like a little girl with her mother. She is it's kind of interesting the phases that you go through. I've been noticing that as my mother's getting older and the role that I have to play now is really weird to me because I feel like I'm always chastising my mother. I'm always trying to put her in her place because she's she's getting older and she's very confused. So I'm always telling her what she's supposed to be doing in this moment. And it bothers me. But I was watching her and I'm like, wow, she really becomes a little girl with her mother.
She does. I don't know. I felt like it was a kind of a boring scene, but I guess it was necessary for her journey within everything. I don't think I went live with y'all last time, but I do want to acknowledge like the birthday party with the family, that the little crying scene. I did like that with them coming together. But
oh yeah,
the next scene I have,
I do believe that. That is probably the only thing that I think that Wendy has ever presented that I absolutely didn't think was fake.
Yeah,
I thought that was a very authentic. I needed to say that too because I'm always talking about how she faking scene. I didn't feel like she's like the one with her mother. I didn't pick that up only because her sister's reaction. That's why I didn't.
Yeah, but now you think about it, but because I was thinking, did they go to this restaurant just to tell her mom this, or did her mom already know? Like, what is this? But her mom's like, Wendy, I'm praying. Like, she chastises those girls like they're still 5.
Yeah.
But they pay her allowance.
Yes.
What was it? 500 a month? Yeah.
5,000.
5,000? It was 5,000?
I thought it was, I think
500.
It was only 500?
I think that she gave her 500. Yeah. It's
girl, that ain't no money.
She could go and get her a pedicure and manicure and then go right.
I thought it was 5,000. Girl, that's one that Callie said. What's she gonna do? Get some skin bleach?
Yeah, I mean,
I do like the idea though of a child paying their parents when they get older. I do like that idea. When I was like, why haven't we adopted that?
But 500 ain't gonna sustain me. I only got one child. I need to have another. Like honey, that ain't enough.
What's that gonna do? Pay the internet bill?
Right.
I mean, 500 might not put a dent, but that's something. Like that is your cable bill and your internet bill and your cell phone bill. You got a whole child taking care of a nice little chunk. $500 is not throwaway money now. Come on.
And if it's three of them, that's what, 1,500?
Yeah, that's a lot because her oldest is a daughter, and I think the son, he just graduated.
She may get more.
Right. And she might be paying more.
She probably be paying more because her occupation. She might get 10% of whatever they make. So, like the Lord. So, the next scene I have is DJ in the bonnet in the kitchen.
Oh my goodness, what are we gonna do with him?
What we gonna do with him? Y'all help me out.
Oh, DJ.
I just can't figure it out. I like him. I did like him, I guess, before I didn't like the party scene last week when he was get your hand off of me, move. You know, I don't know. I'm very I'm confused. I don't know why she would be with someone who's that rude in public.
He
So
said she left him for 4 hours, though. He did say that. He said for 4 hours, though. That is
he didn't
long
see
time.
her.
Yes, he said for 4 hours, though. That
You
was
sure
literally
it was
what he
4
said.
hours?
4.
I know he said that, but that just seems extreme that she never went back to check on him after 4 hours. That is rude if that did happen.
She did apologize, but I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah. Latoya, we spoke about that sweater too. It's funny you brought it up. I didn't like it. They said it's the Michelin Man. Mm-hmm.
It's horrible. It made her look like she was 1,800 pounds. Why would she wear that?
And I couldn't even find it for sale, Latoya, because I
you
sure
know,
looked.
people, the same reason why Nene came to did them confessionals in that ugly wig that we talked about for years. That
and
Jamie
that
Wanda looking wig. Yeah.
Yes,
horrible.
Somebody told them that's fashion and they throw it on.
Honey, they need the Reed's gay friend because that ain't it.
Yeah, between that and then the Kiana's shirt last week in the white thing with those fighter pilot shoulders. Did y'all remember that one?
I don't remember that.
They were just hung off her shoulders and went past the top of her head. It was ridiculous.
Stop it. I'm gonna have to go look. Oh, okay. Another thing was that scene with TJ. He asked her, was she going to get a forensic accountant? And she said no. And I'm like, does she not know Sutton? Because Sutton got all the money.
Yeah.
By doing that. Why do you think she doesn't want to do that?
But we know now that she has done it.
Oh, she has? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least according to Gizelle, she did the extra searching and they have found the money. So, you know, hopefully she did whatever
she was on Watch What's Happening Live and mentioned it. Stacey did.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was.
I hadn't watched that.
She was
yeah,
on
not, I think was that the episode that he had on that shirt.
The Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, when you have rich guys like that, especially ones that possibly was rich when you met them and have become more successful, they hide money.
Yeah.
Because when stuff goes south, that's just how they think. You know, in my mind, because I just haven't known any black men like that. That's a white guy thing. But I haven't met any black. I mean, I think about some of the best settlements that we've heard of in history were like Michael Jordan's ex-wife. Like they were like, her settlement was like the best settlement of its time ever in history.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes
I don't think he tried to hide anything. I think he just gave, right?
That's my point. Black men aren't usually that treacherous. You know, that's just not a trait you often see. Not that they do want to part with their money. They don't. They're just not thinking in those kind of terms. Preemptively. You know, white men do.
Because, I mean, Sutton got a whole baseball team or something, didn't she? Like,
I mean, just think about that lady Tilly that's on Beverly Hills.
I love that story.
Her husband turned over a third of the Simpsons to her.
Simpsons.
Not really knowing that the show was going to be as successful as it was.
You believe that?
I think it's really funny.
I believe it.
I would like to know.
That's crazy. Why I ain't get that lucky.
Yeah.
Me either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. White men just think differently in that regard. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. As a woman, it sounds like a terrible thing. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's move on to Ashley and Gizelle on speed dating and them speed dating. Ashley is a really good conversationist. When she talks, she asks questions. She gives a little bit. She actually is a good dater.
She's engaging.
I do admire how she seems to always be verbally able to wiggle through things. I don't know why, but I could see why an older man would like her. She's not as young-minded as one would think.
She's actually very open. Like she's very like she's curious, and
Yeah.
sometimes her
Willing
curiosity
to do a
does
lot
get
of
her in
things.
trouble. But
Yeah.
she really wants to know all the business, and she's good at conversation because she's gonna
Yeah.
ask the questions. You know what I mean? I think she's
Yeah.
engaged. I
Yeah.
do.
I think that's why she's still on the show without a storyline too. She's really
Yeah.
likable.
Yeah.
She can talk to anybody in any situation. Yeah, I think that's why she's still on the show.
Because
Yeah,
how
I
she
think so too.
connected with that little farmer was so funny to me. That look, I was like, this girl can talk to anybody. I'll be like,
Mhm.
you grew up with what? What that smell like? Like,
And then Gizelle has a type because that dude looked just like Sherman
yeah,
Jamal,
she
and
likes some dark
Oh
and
my
blonde.
God, I thought he was beautiful. I loved it. He just yes, that's my type too.
is that your
Is
type?
it?
Okay,
Yes,
Kelly.
yes, 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 yes.
I
Mhm.
don't
My
think
my
I
ex
ever had.
husband looked like Sherman actually.
I don't think I ever.
Really?
They just that beautiful dark skin. I swear to God, it's just sexy to me. It just gives a whole different look over a man. I love
It's
it.
beautiful.
Mm,
Yeah, but she has a type. And I
yep,
guess
she
that's the
does.
guys that's gonna go on whatever thing they're going to. Because I saw Gizelle with the bald headed guy, so I guess that's him. In
Yeah.
like a preview.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what's next. Karen and Ray. Do we have anything else to say about that speed dating?
I thought
Mm-mm.
it was
Okay.
cute.
I
I
thought it was
thought,
really cute, and I think that maybe where they got them going on that dating, you know, that they have that dating show that's coming up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
oh
That could,
yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, I
Yes, that
do.
might be a part of that actually.
I've been Team Gizelle this season, which I'm shocked. I want to not, honey.
Okay.
Yeah, did y'all talk about that?
What?
Just Mia saying that about Gizelle's kids.
Yeah,
Yes.
we hit on it. We didn't
I
agree.
don't understand why she did.
Joy.
She's
We didn't agree, and
I
we just
think she tripping. I think that Mia is going to find herself on the most hated list this year because if you go in groups, and talk about some shade, Gizelle said last night. Gizelle was talking to Andy on Watch What's Happening Live and literally said, somebody in my glam said Mia gonna be on Love and Hip Hop.
is
That
she
was
funny?
all kinds of shade, yes, because
Andy didn't know what to think.
he
He was
didn't
like,
know
"What?
what to say other than
Huh?"
no, she's on Bravo.
Yeah.
Like
he
what?
was probably
Right. Let me tell you, people are saying this every time they watch this season. I mean, watch this, it gets worse and worse and more Love and Hip Hop. And I read
Yep.
somebody's thing that said this. I wanted to read it to you all because it kind of encompasses what's Mia's issue. It said I was watching this episode and realized why I don't like Mia and how I agree that she's just not fit on this platform because she's literally using her kids as her central storyline. This is their real life and it's putting their business on with their internal thoughts and their paternity on Front Street to be judged and discussed by strangers weekly. I'm sorry, Mia may not be the worst housewife of all times, but she's the worst fit for this platform. It is
I
gross.
agree. I don't, and I guess
Gross.
even with when they were in the kitchen, since we're talking about her and cooking the cookies, and her kids were like, "Why are y'all not living together? I don't want you to marry Mr. Ink." Like even though she's saying she's protecting them, I don't see how. And
Yeah, it was
she
pretty
trying to
powerful to
keep
hear
them
that little
innocent.
girl say that.
How are you
I
trying to
don't
keep
want
them
you to marry
innocent,
Mr.
bringing your
Ink.
boyfriend and your husband in the same? I don't know.
And then Mia be trying to play on our intelligence because after she said all of that in confessional, she's like, yeah, so you heard it from a child. And I can't help but agree, as if she said something bad about Gordan or something. Now they could be pasting that and they could have showed her something that they didn't show us, which is possible because Bravo is good for that bull crap.
They are.
But I did find it so distasteful that they allowed that baby to say that about she don't want to be Ink, and then it goes to Mia talking as if the little girl said something bad about Gordan.
And
Because
she did
she's
not.
talking about that Ink.
She don't want her to marry Mr. Ink.
Which
That's what she said.
And she's such a liar, because for her to sit up there and say that her children don't know that she's with him, we have seen them this summer on the beach somewhere with her children there, y'all.
Yes.
They were there sitting on each other's lap, kissing, swinging on the swing in the beach. We saw that.
Yes. She said that on Watch Happens Live.
How could she say she's protecting her children? Mia would have been better saying, I don't want to be married to you no more. I'm sorry. Going with, I've been in love with this guy forever. I couldn't let him go. I'm so sorry Gordan is going. She would have done better doing that.
And I think she's playing on his mental illness.
Yes.
A little too much. Like, she's trying to blame everything on his mental illness. And to me, that's disgusting. That's sick.
And he sounded more and more sane.
Yes, he's saying it in her.
Yeah, I think he's starting to pick up on what she's doing. I think he is like, he's going to take all his vitamins. So he can tell that Mia's trying to kind of run through him in a negative way. And I hate to see that. So I think that's going to be her downfall.
Yeah. Like, it's not cute. It feels abusive watching.
Right. It really does. It really does.
And then I don't know if we want to talk about Karen and Ray, but I wanted to skip over, since we're talking about Mia. Mia and Kiara, is that how you said Kiara?
Mm-hmm.
When she started talking about the paternity, she's doing too much. Because she was like, could they be Ink's child? And she was like, yeah, they are similar. We're going to do a paternity test. That's putting your kids on there too. Putting all that business out there. Questioning your son's father. And I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's gross.
It's nasty.
It's not anybody that care about your kids a little bit. You know, in her twist to try to appear authentic, it's coming across the phoniest. Because to her, I'm putting out all of my stuff. That's in her mind, she's not robbing. Because I'm letting y'all see the good, bad, and the ugly. That's what she thinks. In her mind,
I think she feels like she needs to do this. Is she just trying to stay on the show? Like, why is she doing this?
Yeah, it's terrible. Like, it's too much. It would have been different if one season you're dealing with this, the next season you're dealing with it's like so much going on. Like it's crazy. And the kicker for me, the absolute kicker, was at the end when Mia was talking to Gordan, and that heifer actually said out of her mouth to her husband,
right, Joy,
telling her husband that her boyfriend said, "I need to put up boundaries."
Yeah, that about took me out too.
Because I'm not emotionally available to him. Girl, if that ain't the N-word and audacity together, I called it negacity. Like, girl, you lost your mind.
Not the audacity.
Completely. Is there, listen, that was so rude and disrespectful. Gordan just looking at her like, Trick, did you really just say that? Did you just say that?
He didn't say Trick.
But Gordan, to me, is keeping his composure, and he's keeping calm in times when I don't think I would be. So even if he is bipolar or manic or whatever, he is getting some type of care because he's able to kind of control it. Because I would be blowing up on her. I'm sorry. You're not going to put my kids in this, Mr. Ink, and y'all not going to let my kids be no storyline. I'm not going to be your storyline. You're not going to make it seem like I'm crazy when you the one out here in the pimp village, as Karen calls it. No.
She should say that.
What did she say? No, I can't. I said I wasn't going to forget that. What did she say?
Because she said kids are off limits just because you can't control your old pimp village or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because when she brought up Gizelle's girls, I don't think anybody liked that. I mean, they're about to go to college. You know, girls need guys in the house. Like, I don't think Gizelle tries to make it seem like her kids are perfect, because they don't make it seem like she's perfect. Like, they will read her in a minute. Right. So I don't know what Mia was trying to do in that situation. Because Mia said something to the whole group.
Yeah, she did.
It wasn't like her and Gizelle was talking
so much she didn't even know.
She didn't
And what I
remember.
said to Joy last week, I think it was last week, Monty, when we met, Joy and I, about that, I said in Mia's mind, it was very easy for Mia to bring up her kids because Gizelle told her in front of the camera and everybody around that she was a horrible mother.
She didn't
So
say
when
that.
it,
She said
what?
she wasn't protecting her children.
Okay, so correction. She said she wasn't protecting her children, which is saying you're a horrible mother. You
That's
know,
how
'cause
you interpret it.
she was
That's not.
no,
But
Joy.
Giselle
If
is
someone
protecting her
says,
children.
if
So
someone
because
says,
Giselle decides to protect her children and not put them having sneaking boys in, and Mia don't want to protect her children,
Yeah.
then she
oh,
gonna unprotect Giselle's children?
Oh, good point.
What are
no,
you
no. Well,
saying then? That's what she's
what I'm
doing.
okay.
That's actually a really good point.
Joy,
Say that again, Monty.
Callie,
go ahead. Say it again.
what do
Say
you
it
think?
again.
I mean, it's what do you understand about that?
I
Because
understand
Giselle don't
all,
want to
but
put
I'm
her
saying
kids on Front Street and say what her kids are
I'm
doing.
not.
She's
I'm telling
protecting
what I
her.
said is, girl, we're gonna be fighting to the court. What I said is, in Mia's mind, Mia thinks that because you called her out as a bad mother, when it came time for her to say anything to Gizelle about the kids, because of what she did, she says, well, then I didn't tell anybody about your daughters. I'm going to say it. So I'm not saying it's right or wrong at all. What I'm saying is, in Mia's mind, that's why she brought it up and was comfortable doing it in front of other people because of the way they treated her on that first episode and talked about her parenting. That's and I still believe that to this day. That's why she
But
did it. It's not a
I
right or
don't
wrong
doubt that that's
for
why
me to
she
fix the
did it,
past.
because I do believe that.
Okay,
I
but that's
do
all I ever
believe,
said about it, though.
oh,
yeah,
I
I
got
do
you.
believe that's what she believes, but it's just not a justifiable. The two don't match. One is
I mean,
literally something that, no mother, unless you got a show about your children and it's caught on camera and you have to deal with it, would normally bring up stuff like that. It's just like Mary Cosby, what she did on Salt Lake with her son. You think in general she was going to talk about the fact that her son was on drugs?
mm,
She was faced with it and she dealt with it,
right.
and it was I think that was the realest thing I've ever seen on reality TV, by the
That's
way,
what
if y'all
somebody
watch
said.
Salt
I
Lake.
didn't watch it, but
Girl, it
people, when
was
I read about it,
girl,
they
when
were
she
saying that
told
was one of the most real. That was a real moment.
when she told her son, I felt it. She said, "You are my gift."
Oh,
She said, "I wasn't even happy until I had you."
almost.
And I, sometimes I look at her and I believe she's very unhappy. She's in a situation where she was forced to marry her grandmother's husband. She didn't want to be in a marriage. If you listen to her, she definitely did not like this man. And she had to produce a child. And this was her one good thing that then came out of this mess, because she had to produce a child. That's why she was given to her. Is that sick
You're
even
right.
saying it out loud? Like, I believe her. And then you have this one child that becomes your whole life. I felt that. And she's a quirky little thing and mean, but she's been dealt a hard deal.
Yeah. And so Tori's saying, how is talking about parenting got anything to do with kids? It doesn't match.
It
Talking
does.
about a
You're
mother
correct.
compared to telling and talking about kids.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's no argument here. They're not the same. Mia doesn't see that though, because she's not a real person, and she wouldn't be honest, because if an honest conversation would have been, you sitting up here saying X, Y, and Z, I'm still ticked off at you when you basically said I was a bad mother, and then they could have had a dialogue about it. But Mia don't. That's a real conversation. But Mia don't really want to have those kind of conversations. She's comfortable throwing her kids under the bus, under control, what she thinks is a controlled setting.
Because I'm sure all of these people who have daughters and sons are sneaking people in the house. I mean, it happens. I'm sure y'all done snuck somebody in the house. And I don't think people are probably judging Gizelle's kids because they've done that. But it was just the point of, why are you putting the kids in this? And Mia, I guess, I don't know. I just thought that was a low down dirty shame. And I wouldn't be her friend anymore. I'm just going to tell you that.
I sure would never tell her nothing.
I wouldn't tell her anything.
On Watch What's Happening Live, somebody asked her, one of the audience members' phone calls asked her about that. She said, well, I can't tell you what happened because it plays out in a couple of episodes. But she said, I'll tell you this. She's dead to me.
You said what? Say it again.
She's dead to me.
Ooh!
I cracked up.
And so she's in the grave, okay?
Latoya says that's normal as a teenager. I never did it, but I know plenty of people that have. So for me, the difference in this is they were in the Dominican Republic, so it's not like it was some local boys they knew. So I mean,
no, they were in
they were at home. They were
at home. So what happened was Gizelle then was on the trip.
Did she mention the Dominican Republic?
She was. Yes, they were in the Dominican Republic, and she mentioned to Mia while they were there that the girls were at home, and she caught on their Ring camera them sneaking a boy in. So they were at home.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. No, it wasn't no stranger, which ain't nothing wrong with that either. If you want to go get your groove back, you go do it, people. But
not at 17, but okay.
No, not at 17. I'm talking about people, us. Go get your groove back, like stuff. And I mean, I don't know, 17, why not? Okay. What else we got? The dude with Ashley, he was cute.
Who was cute?
And that was all I got. What else we got?
He's younger than her, though. I think she like 36, right?
Yeah, and he's 30s. Yeah.
Who? Inkiz?
No, Ashley.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's 36 or 37. He was a cutie to me. I mean, I thought he was really
black. He didn't look black for some reason.
He's not. I think.
He didn't look white.
There we go. Okay,
I was gonna say hair was,
he looks like he's got a little
afro texture.
Yeah, he could be Jewish. They had tight.
He had a Jew fro. I don't think is that racist? No, right?
People say it was farmers. They were farmers, right?
Yeah, because I worked with somebody. He said he grew up and he had a Jew fro, so that's what he called it. I'm not saying anything negative, but I think
I know somebody who called it a Jew fro. I worked with a lady who.
So I think that's probably what, because he was telling me how he said she was this girl named Tasha. She had an Afro pick. She picked it out. He was so happy. But anyway, yes. Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. We're just gonna do a quick Married to Medicine. Callie didn't watch it. And then what time do you have for Huntsville? Do I need to go push it, Joy?
7:05. Yeah, you do.
Okay, let me push it real quick. You want to introduce how it's going, Joy? And I'll push it.
Okay. All right. So now we finna move on over to Married to Medicine. Today's episode was called Saddle Up Cowgirls. This wasn't a real long episode, so it was saying it wasn't too much going on, but there are a couple of things that we wanted to talk about.
Okay, it's pushed.
It pretty much begins with Quad picking up or getting a phone call from her boo. Is his first name King?
His last name.
Oh, okay. Because somebody said call him Mr. King. And somebody was saying everybody at that party older than him. Ain't nobody called him Mr. King.
Right.
Which I thought was funny. But he tells her to come outside and he bought her a Rolls Royce. And we learned that he is a luxury car rental place.
Is that what he does?
That's what she said.
Okay. So I don't think I don't know what the word is, but I just feel like this seems so superficial to me.
Very. But
so it's not just me.
No, she's always that's how somebody said, and I believe this, every episode he gonna be giving her something, doing something for her. It's gonna be something extra.
Yeah,
We're not going to get to know them as a couple for real, just being themselves.
I didn't like it. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like this is your new man, and you need to not always, like you said, show him giving you stuff, because that seems like the only reason that you with him is because he can give you gifts. Like there's no type of depth to your relationship, and I guess you don't want to show that, but we want to see other. I don't want to just see that.
Right.
She's catering to, I guess, these girls who feel like when they get a man, that's all he can do. You know what I mean? So that's not what a relationship is. And that's why a lot of men are saying, she just want me to take her to dinner. She just want to do this. It's not showing the other stuff. I don't know. I don't like it. And I feel like Married to Medicine shouldn't let it happen.
It would have been nice to just get to see them. There's no controversy about them. Nobody talking about them. I think the worst things girls do on reality TV is, all of these things are gestures. People forget all about those gestures.
Mm-hmm.
What people remember is like authentic conversation. If they were sitting down, maybe if you want to have a scene talking about their future, and Quad is giving us her real voice and not her theatrical one. It would be nice to get to know them as a couple, but they want to do stuff like this, all of these gestures, and all you're gonna do is pull out haters. Girl, he gave so that car rented. Like it's just because that's what they were saying.
And what's so crazy is I feel like it seemed staged. Like she was like, "Why you want me to come outside? You got the code to the house. He got you a car out there, girl."
Right.
I don't know. And then he gave her some Louis, and I want to see more. To me, Quad never shows, and I like Quad, but she never shows more. But that's what some people like. They like that about her.
Yeah.
That she's superficial. I don't think Married to Medicine should allow her to only show that. Yeah. And I don't know why she has the ability to when other people have to show more or they get kicked off of shows.
And we gave you 2 episodes. She had last episode and this episode. We ain't gonna give you 3.
No.
Like, okay, we get it. He got money enough in your eyes. So I don't know. And ain't no way a man would have a code and the whatever to my house and we ain't married, or you ain't even my fiance, and that's something else. You talking about having a baby with somebody doing IVF, but he ain't even gave you an engagement ring, girl. Ain't no way.
But do you think he lives with her and that's how she pays for the house? Because I mean, I don't know how much she makes, and I'm not counting her coins. I didn't know how much that house costs, but he may be living there to help pay bills.
Does you think he live? I don't think he lives there.
Oh, you don't think so?
I mean, she didn't say that. Why would he need the code?
Well, he said that we're never apart. We're always together. Like, to me, it made me think they stayed together, but I don't know. Or that could have been fake too. Then the next, I only have 4 notes, so I don't know what
think about that, because I know Quad, she just bought that house. She ain't trying to leave the house unless he gonna buy something else, because that is possible. But most men don't want to move in with a woman. Most don't. Not unless he able to.
Has she had the house for 4 or 5 years?
I don't know. It's been quite a few.
Okay.
I know that whatever year it was, like where Portia lived, she not far from Portia. We Googled them. Somebody showed the house. It was like $2 million or something.
Okay.
It's a nice house.
It's a nice house. I think she can afford that.
And I want to say she lived in Sandy Springs. She not far. I can't remember if it was Portia's old house that her mama stayed in or her new house. But I don't think they were far. Well, I hate to say that. Sandy Springs ain't necessarily a small city, but it's outside of Atlanta. It's real nice in Sandy Springs. It's like you could just drive through neighborhoods. Just one beautiful neighborhood. My daughter, when she first moved to Atlanta, lived in Sandy Springs. It's so pretty out there.
Oh, did she? Mm-hmm. Is she still there?
No, she ended up moving to, I told you she lives in the apartments that's right across the street from where Cynthia and Peter used to live. Like literally the apartments you drive out of, because it has a garage. If you drive out of the garage, I'm telling you, her house is it's a two-way road and around the corner. I mean, and it's like in a cul-de-sac. Cynthia's house is actually in a huge cul-de-sac. And we drove around there. It's right around. It's so close. We could have walked.
Okay, daughter, you better do it, girl.
But yeah, it's real nice over there. You talking about if you ever take a tour, you talking about gentrification, like for real. That's the perfect example. Where Cynthia lived, not 2 blocks away, once was a hood,
and now it's not. That's how it is in Nashville. The projects, what used to be like a neighborhood that I wouldn't go in, they are running around with their dogs outside. I mean, like they building up those high rises, like lofts. It's different. All right. So the next thing, I only have 4 notes. So if you may have to help me out. The next thing I have is Toya and Eugene in the clinic.
Girl, she always trying to get that poor man to work, ain't she?
I know, girl. Those my notes too. Yeah. She said we need a menu. She talking about, but I do think that is smart. I do think he could do that kind of like Botox. That's fast, easy money.
It is.
Yeah.
And if Toya was a for real one, she would dedicate, I'll do it for 60 days or 90 days. So with the
answering the phone,
kids, answering the phone, getting their schedule, straighten up, because that would be helpful.
And that's a less salary because he don't have to hire anybody else.
Yes, and she could do that. I wouldn't just have it be endless, but you can dedicate a specific amount of time, if for no other reason, to get your money up so you can hire somebody.
Because he could just say, we do Botox on Tuesday and Thursday. That's the day she comes in. She schedules stuff, or she makes sure that it's scheduled for those days. 2 days a week. That's all she would have to give him. That's all she would have to give him.
Yeah. And that'll you can start it off, and then if he gets overbooked, then you maybe pick up another day.
And it'll be good to go. But Eugene, I like that about Eugene, though. He really knows who he married. Because when she said that, he was like, "You're not gonna answer the phone." Like he told her. Like, you're not gonna do it. But I do like that I feel like on this franchise, they all have moved on to better. Like they started off doing something, and they've all now most of them have their own practices, right? Because I think
Damon does, Contessa does.
Contessa and her husband did. Eugene is now doing it.
Jackie and
which I don't know if he did with the hospital, but
and so did Heavenly. So
they all
are private. Oh, you're right. Yeah,
it's like they all, and it may be the only way because of the way they act. Like some hospitals probably be like, "You ain't gonna."
I don't think Eugene them had those issues though, because he was a ER director and doctor for years. Both of them was.
Yeah, because he was somebody's boss. I think
Jamie was, and then what's his name was as well. He was a director too.
Yeah, so
Eugene was, and so was Daddy. What's his name?
So was Daddy. I knew it was 2 of them. Yeah. So I will say that on this franchise, they are getting better and better. Like I'm impressed with them. And then the boys' apartment. That's my last note.
Yeah.
Didn't they say they only were gonna live there for so long? What was the rules? Do you remember?
I think one of them was gonna have rent. Both of them were gonna have it for free for a year. One of them was gonna have it free for 2 years because he was, I think, in school.
Right. How long has it been?
Wasn't this last season when they got
a year? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's time for them to move out.
Yeah.
I
But
can't
that's
believe they let it get like that.
girl, you talking about boys. And,
Oh,
and they probably had a maid service coming in cleaning a couple days a week. Because if I had that kind of, if my broke butt can hire somebody to clean up my house,
you know I do too.
you right. So I know they were. And them
Yeah.
boys probably, and they're boys, you know, although Simone go to work every day, you know, them boys ain't really being put to with chores and doing consistent things. They gonna make terrible husbands too.
They are. That's why I was telling the difference between, I even think a lot of the people on Potomac, their kids, like Raven, like it seems like they did their kids different.
Mm-hmm.
They go to work, they do, them boys ain't doing nothing but
Yeah,
partying, it look like.
they don't have a drive. We have to do as Black people a better job of kind of instilling that in them. You know, Black people tend to have the mentality, I'm going to give you everything that I didn't get. Instead of making them earn things. We parent through a lot of our trauma, and we have to get out of it because we're raising entitled children. All you got to do is look at all of these rappers that we used to love and admire, and look at their children. They don't have no hustle in them. They don't have no hustle in them because their parents was too busy pacifying them. That why do they have to hustle? You can tell who parents hustle because you see it. You know, you can't raise entitled children. Your children don't have a career, they don't have no drive. We can't do that. I've seen that. But
I don't know. That's all I got. What happened next, Joy? Because that's all I wrote.
um
I don't have no more notes. Oh, they well, Contessa, Phaedra, and Sweet Tea meet at Contessa's house. Contessa looks cute in her little pink outfit. And they're throwing some type of dude wrench thing, right?
yeah, they decided to go on this trip, and Sweet Tea and them invited everybody. I'm glad they did. And they went on this trip, and I mean they're about to go on this trip. It's going to be interesting to see them interact because I was really kind of confused, like where the beef came from with Quad and Sweet Tea. Because if you listen to this interview she just recently did, Quad is just playing. Like Sweet Tea is like, when she decided to do this show, she flat out told Quad, I ain't on here to fight with you. She said, because it's going to turn into a clown of my husband. She said, I was very clear with her about that. So that's why I didn't trip when she showed up at such and such. That's why I'm not trying to argue with her. Because, you know, she already know where it's going to go. And I appreciated some of the things she's saying, but she was just like, Heavenly basically proposed this, gave her a proposition like, come on this show. It'll help Quad. It'll help you. You can bring his reputation back. I believe her. I believe every word Sweet Tea said because of something that was going on in real time where she was hyping up Sweet Tea. Greg got a real young girlfriend. She cute too. Like she was hyping her up before we met her, before we knew who she was, before she had signed on to the show. Heavenly was talking about her, trying to probably soup that girl up. I believe
she was.
Yeah, this was a ploy. And that's why she was just like, this ain't important to me. You know, I want to do the show. I like to do the show, but this ain't important to me. That's what I read when she was talking, but it's out there. It's on Instagram. She
wanted Sweet Tea on this show to drag her. Yes. She did, which is crazy. But I like that Sweet Tea didn't back down to none of them.
And she said, you know, something must go really bad with Quad and them and the things that she was saying. Because she was like, Quad want to act like you know, he was such a bad guy. Recently, she had called him when they were together. This was before they got married, and was trying to get a prescription because she wanted some tint on her car. She was like, "You work with all them doctors. Why you calling Greg?" And she don't think she was trying to holler nothing. She was just saying, you know, all of these, some of this anger that we go is fabricated. It's for the cameras. But she was just like, my husband not gonna be your basically, it's unnecessary drama. And Sweet Tea didn't want to be in it like that. I don't think she cared about fighting with Heavenly. She don't want to fight with Quad.
That's crazy. And then other thing I had was Apollo. He looks good.
He does.
Thank you. Don't let him in the house. Is that weird?
I love it that she said that boy crazy.
He is though.
I love it. When
He's
she
crazy.
said that, I was cracking up because I felt that, like, she know he probably could talk her out of her drawers, and you ain't getting in this house. Apollo was cheating. It was a whole thing. He was messing with somebody. That's what they were talking about, by the way. When Toya went to him, it had in real time, it was a rumor that he was messing with some woman.
That's crazy. But that's all with Toya?
No, not with Toya. It was we talking about Apollo.
Right.
Yeah, the Apollo was messing with some woman.
Oh. Well, that's all I had, Joy, from Marriage to Magic.
That's it. That's it.
Okay. Well, I did Huntsville for 7:20, so it's 7:16. So we'll be back. Come to the Huntsville channel. We're gonna start it. You ready, Joy?
Uh-huh.
Peace.
Peace.
We did good.